Okay, guys, here we are continuing the medieval history part, and for the now in this video we will continue with further rulers of slave dynasty. That is, the first one will be uh, Bahram Shah. Then after Bahram Shah, as you can look here, second one will be Masood Shah. He was the son of Ruknuddin. Third one will be Nasiruddin Mahmud, son of Iltutmish and Malika Jahan. And also this one, Bahram Shah was third son of Iltutmish. And after that, Ghiyasuddin Balban, he ruled for 21 years, and the last emperor, that is Kakubad, who was killed by the Khilji family. So now we will continue with the details of these rulers. So let's continue with the details in the video further. Bahram Shah, he ruled for 2 years. He was the third son of Iltutmish. He put to throne by Turk. He was put to throne by the Turkish council, that is Chalisa. They were the de jure rulers. The Chalisa, that is the 40, were the de jure rulers, and Naibe Mamlakat, the regent, was the de facto ruler. So he lost his life after failed attempt to assert his authority once. So Bahram Shah was the third of son of Iltutmish. He was put to throne by Turk council, but he ruled for 2 years, but lost his life after failed attempt to assert his authority once. And now the Masood Shah, 1242 to 48, he ruled for 6 years. He was the son of Ruknuddin. He was Ruknuddin, that is the Ruknuddin was the son of Iltutmish, and Masood Shah was son of Ruknuddin. So he was conspired by Balban and Malikai Jahan, mother of Nasruddin Mahmud, and removed from throne. Then Nasruddin Mahmud was established as the new ruler. So now Nasruddin Mahmud, the son of Iltutmish and Malikai Jahan, were was the new ruler, and he was known as the Darwesi king, as he was pious and noble, and he died in 1266. He ruled for 20 years. So now the next one was Ghiyasuddin Balban. He broke the power of Chalisa and restored power of the crown. That is, Chalisa were no longer the de jure ruler now, and Ghiyasuddin Balban ruled from 1266 to 1287. That is 21 years. He broke the power of Chalisa and restored the power of the crown. He appointed spies, and there was a spy system in his rule in his kingdom. Military department Diwani Arz was there as the military department. He created strong military army to deal with internal disturbances and external aggression like Mongols. So he was a very strong ruler, and he created strong military army and military department Diwani Arz. This is about Ghiyasuddin Balban, 1266 to 87. He introduced the policy of iron and blood. Nobody can oppose the king, otherwise he will be killed. He gave himself the title of Zil-i-Ilahi, that is shadow of God. He considered himself to be a god. So, and he also introduced pabos and sijda for normal form of greeting. Pabos was kissing feet of the monarch. That is, he broke the power of Chalisa and restored the power of the crown, and he thought that he was a god, a shadow of God, and so pabos, he introduced pabos for kissing feet of the monarch, that is the king, and sijda, that is prostration before the monarch, that is pranam before the monarch. So he destroyed Mewati Rajputa brigade in the Doab, where forests were cut and forts were built. So he also defeated the Mewati Rajputana brigade, Rajputs, and in the Doab, where he cut the forests and made forts. In his days, Balban overlooked the Sultanate affairs due to death of his eldest and most loving son, Muhammad, and rebellion by his closest and most loved slave Tugril. When his son died, that is Muhammad died, he overlooked the Sultanate affairs. He was in some kind of depression and overlooking the Sultanate affairs. And there was some rebellion in by his closest also, and his most loved slave also rebelled against him. That is, his most loved slave was Tugril. In 1285, Muhammad died fighting with Mongolians. Tugril was captured and beheaded. So that is why Balban was affected and overlooked the Sultanate affairs. Uh, and the next ruler was Kakubad, 1287 to 1290. He was the grandson of Balban, seated on the throne on 1287 by Fakhruddin. Fakhruddin was Kotwal of Delhi. He assumed high political authority during last days of Balban. So Fakhruddin was Kotwal of Delhi and he assumed high political authority during last days of Balban. And Kakubad was killed by Khilji family in later years in 1290, which ended the slave dynasty at the Delhi throne. So Fakhruddin, he was the Kotwal of Delhi, and he assumed high political authority during last days of Balban. So he gave the throne to the grandson of Balban in 1287. But he died. He was killed by Khilji family, and which this ended the slave dynasty of the Delhi throne. Okay, guys, see you in the next video. Hope you have uh, given importance to all the points, and all these points are very important. These are very short notes for mains and prelims.